I'm on a mission to teach coaches and entrepreneurs how to make more, work less, hire their funnel, and let the funnel do the work. If you're ready, join me on Monetize with Marcus podcast.
You're going to choose where you want to meet them on the journey. If we number them 1 through 5, where are you meeting them? Really quick, somebody, where you meeting them on the journey? 2, love it. 1, I mean, you got a skill set to take them from starting to their success picture. Somebody else. 3, I love it, I love it, I love it. Now, here's where messaging brings it all together, and I'm going to show you how to turn this into content you can post online, okay? Once we figure out where we want to meet them on the journey, we map out our transformational process. Mine is the Monetize Online Business Blueprint. It's in 3 phases. The first thing they have to know for us is mindset, messaging, monetization, and this is their offer, and marketing. That's phase 1. Then we go into the design phase of creating a course, building their funnel, writing their emails, mapping out their copy, creating what we call their ad creative, video, things of that nature. We write it all out for them. And then we go into the delivery phase of how to sell it, how to launch it, how to scale it. That's the transformational process. I don't let nobody skip phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because the only thing I can guarantee on my customer journey is my transformational process. Are you getting this? Come on, churchgoers. This is an assimilation process, right? One thing I can guarantee. Before I can lead you to leadership, let's start at salvation. Where am I meeting you on the journey, and what is my transformational process? So for you, here's how you ask the question. What does someone need to know to be successful on the journey I'm taking them on? What does someone need to know to be successful on the journey I'm taking them on? Let it marinate. Y'all typing? Y'all writing? 2 hops this time. Crisscross. I'm bad. I'm trying to act like I got some sense in here. Please excuse me. And you're like, who is this guy he bought in here? All right, I'm sorry. Transformational process. Has anybody named theirs? I love, what would you say, you're D4? Is that correct? That's a transformational process. And he figured out where he wanted to meet you on the journey. But you joined the journey because of your personal success picture and the one that he painted for you. All of it is messaging. You can. My business does that, right? So here's my business model. Do it yourself, done with you, done for you. Do it yourself is a training portal. You qualify with the training portal to get access to weekly mentorship to ask questions specifically to what you learn in the training portal, because I got to hold you accountable. Done with you is a group coaching setting. Our 4-week course and funnel accelerator or our 6-week boot camp. Only difference between the two, this one gets them a fast result, walks them through our transformational process. This one we add 2 weeks that goes deeper into ads. We don't do ads on this one. We just create a course, build a funnel, and launch them. Done for you, high-level consulting business in a box. Qualifiers for this is much higher. Have to already have something to sell for at least $2,500 or more. Got to be at $1,000 or more for this one. This one, just got to know your audience. So I'm meeting them at different levels, but I don't believe in upsells. I offer you one thing just in 3 different ways. C class, E class, S class. I want a Benz. How much Benz can you afford? Marcus, what about once they're done with this? They move into this retainer/mastermind space. My back. Get it? All right. This makes sense for everybody. You got your transformational process. You got where you're meeting them on the customer journey. Can everybody see, like, messaging is pretty detailed, right? now. Marcus, how on planet Earth do I turn this into content that makes people get off the exit of the traffic of the internet and come to me? That's the question. That's the pause. That's the thing you're waiting on. Now that I have your undivided attention, the answers you come up with. How you act as if you're being interviewed, let's say by the Breakfast Club, and you ask yourself questions about what were you needing when you were at each place on the journey. How did I feel when I wrote my first book? I wrote 23 books in 3.5 months. I sold 1,000 copies of the first one. That same year, this is 2015, I created 5 coaching programs and 3 audio albums. You can find them all on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. In 1 year, all this, right? Now, I'm a church boy. I'm leaving from Tallahassee, Florida, pastoring my parents' church, and God told me, like he told Abraham, go to a land I'll show you. Atlanta was my land. How do I go from being Drs. David and Vernette Rozier's son and Tallahassee being Byron's little brother to establishing a name for myself and trying to figure it out? And I remember working at Florida State University, and they're trying to pay me 40-something thousand, but in 1 weekend making that on selling my book. I was mentally unemployable. You can't hire me again. You think that I'm going to sell my time at a fraction of the cost? What is a job? Please don't hear it wrong. You need the money. The job needs your time. So I'll buy your time at a fraction of the cost to give you what you need the most, which is the money. And I'll use your time to free up my time and make more money. So I remember that. So I asked myself, how did I feel when I was selling books? It was a bad business model because every day I had to find a new customer. The life cycle of the customer was too short. So I asked those questions. What did I do? And that becomes my content. If you're an author and you've been selling books for any amount of time, you realize how inconsistent the income can be. So I want to show you this 3-step method that took me from selling books to building out a coaching program and a comprehensive system. Free of charge, you can watch the video training. I got you in my funnel. Get off that exit. If you're an author, I met you at your journey, you getting off that exit. Who is an author heard that and you're like, pull over, girl. Messaging. Then I say stuck. I remember when I started building the coaching program and I noticed that I hated having to do enrollment. Because, okay, they're going to ask me when's the start date, and I needed enough people, but I didn't have a large enough audience. I sold 1,000 copies in the first month with 1,000 followers. I'm talking about freeconferencecall.com and Periscope. Wasn't no Facebook Live or IG Live. Craigslist. I'm talking bootstrapping it, making it happen. Yeah. Doing 20 grand a month, hustling. Oh, but it wasn't right. So now, when I got stuck and the money wasn't going, I had to figure out, how do I broker this book into contracts? How do I get into schools, into corporations? How do I leverage the information, turn it into a program? Then I started building programs and opportunities with Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. Started going to Africa. In 2016, 30-something countries. But then I realized I'm back to selling time because I can only be in one place at a time. I left the job when I was starting, but now I'm stuck where I got to go speak, and I want to be able to duplicate myself. So guess where my content's going to come from? I'm going to ask myself questions of, how did I feel, what did I do, and what would I do differently? That turns into messaging. So if every time they hear me on the internet, I'm talking specifically to what they're feeling, like, man, it's like you spoke directly to me. Now, who in here this whole time, you like, that's me, that's me, that's me, the whole time I'm talking? That's what messaging does. Truth that leaves the heart reaches the heart. You ain't got to figure out where to put it. Truth that leaves the heart reaches the heart. If you speak from a place of truth and center yourself and talk about, if you stop doing captivity, cap activity, right? Capping is what they say. And you only speak from your journey, my truth got to reach your heart. Because I'm not talking theory. All I knew was Bible. How do I take the information I know about Christ and get access to John 10? Life more abundantly. I know he ain't wind up the world and then say, oops, how they gonna pay their bills? I know he ain't wind up the world, place a gift of mine in the mouth and say, he'll figure it out sometime. There has to be money to match it, because even the gift of the Son of God, Jesus, could not function without money. Be as gifted as you want, Jesus, but you got to pay taxes and you need money to go from place to place. Oh, you're going to love this, though. So what did Jesus do? Wait, watch this. What did he do? What did he do? How do I get Peter to get off on the exit? Come on here. Follow me, and I'll make you why fisher. That's the journey Peter's on. That's the journey he's on. Peter, here's an invitation to do what you're doing at the next level. You're doing fish, but you're not doing it at this level. So Peter says, I don't know that dude on the internet. I don't know that guy, that woman. Yo, get me off this exit. Get me off this boat. Now, he didn't market death, crucifixion. That's bad messaging. But it was Jesus' success picture was to die. But for Jesus to die, he had to be popular enough for people to know and care. So how do I, in 3 years, if I told you right now your assignment is to be on the front page of every article in the whole world, for the government to hate you, for every entertainment outlet to talk about you, for you to disrupt finance, disrupt economics, disrupt politics, disrupt arts, disrupt music in 3 years. Good job, good luck. And Jesus did the whole thing through messaging, because even the disciples said, what you meant when you talk about the kingdom thing? He met him on a customer journey.